Hey, man.
Hey.
You know the Hindenburg explosion, the disaster. Let's you want to react to it? Want to check that out?
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
The ill-fated Hindenburg on her last flight sails over New York. These pictures, made from a Pathé News plane less than 4 hours before the tragedy, show the world's largest airship heading for Lakehurst, New Jersey. Over Newark's...
Am I wrong? Is there Nazi insignia on there? Or is that not true?
Wait a minute. I can't really tell. Because that might be.
There were some. There was a
can't tell.
period of time where the Nazis actually, people thought they were kind of incredible. They made this video, and it was like Hitler Youth.
Oh yeah, there was a time when people didn't know the full extent of what was going on, and there are some sympathies even in America, probably elsewhere.
Famous auto
where,
skyway, the airship was hailed by
could very well be
thousands
though.
Could
who
be.
little
Could be
dreamed
back when they
it
were.
was their final glimpse of the Hindenburg.
Wow.
Inside the silver envelope are 16 separate gas.
When I was a kid, I thought that there were people in the whole thing, and then I realized that it's just a little caboose or whatever in the bottom.
Yeah, it's that little gondola thing or underneath.
Next to nothing, basically.
Yeah, which is this tiny compared with the
hydrogen, a highly
balloon
inflammable
part.
gas.
Oh, it is.
It really is. Yeah, wow.
Just goes to show what like history does, right? Because now it's been so demonized. But at this point, they're like, "Oh, look, the Zeppelin's here. It's a German. It's an amazing engineering."
It's funny.
feat.
Yeah, no one questioned the No one questioned the symbol on the.
Makes me wonder what's going to
tail
come
fin
out of what Israel was doing in Gaza, right? Because now it's just one perception, but who knows afterwards what it is 50 years later.
Oh yeah, so many sides.
Windows along the side indicate the location of the passengers' quarters, in which many were carried to a flaming death. Approaching Lakehurst, the Hindenburg appeared a conquering giant of the skies, but she proved a puny plaything in the mighty grip of fate. It almost seemed as if fate had set the stage for the horrible tragedy. A graceful craft sailing serenely to her doom.
Wow.
Whoever
Not
wrote
to take away. Yeah, I was gonna say not to take away from the event, but the announcer, right?
Yeah, whoever wrote the copy for
dramatic
this guy,
words.
it's just like so. I think these were radio people, and they were just so used to like really like They were good. They were good with their words.
They were really good. They painted a picture with their words too. So if you weren't watching it for whatever reason, you could imagine it.
I believe this will have it when he goes, "Oh, the humanity!" It's like such a true
the
viral
famous
moment.
3 hours.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Circled the landing field at Lakehurst, New Jersey, dumping more water ballast than ever before in vain efforts to level off.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's how they would try to level off.
Wow.
Again, she dumps ballast.
It's
and
almost
tension grips those who
it's
are
almost
watching.
ridiculous. Like it's just like this big hot dog in the sky almost. Like
Isn't it wild? Yeah. Can you imagine like looking at something like that?
and
like
we were talking about
Yeah.
drones not that long ago. Drones are so far superior to this. I mean, what is this
Oh, I
thing?
know,
It's just
right?
like a
Yeah,
big-
considering where air travel's gone today compared with then, right?
It's like the Marshmallow Man in the sky. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's up in the sky. I don't mean to make light of a catastrophe,
Well
but it's
said.
like
No,
you know,
it's true.
Well, this is something unusual.
something unusual.
There goes more ballast. But the tail is settling in spite of all that has been dumped. A grim note of impending tragedy.
I'll tell you what, this is like the most slow tragedy ever, right? Like I always see it when it's just burning. I didn't realize it was just coming in.
All the lead up, right?
Slowly coming in. It just, I just think immediately of this like burning thing, you know?
Yeah, I think like once it started, of course, hydrogen being as it is, once it started, that was it. It got pretty dramatic and horrific for everyone on board and on the ground who had to witness this. But yeah, it's interesting to watch it slowly come in.
Yeah, I think it's
Fated
coming.
landing.
We're gonna see. Here we go.
Finally, the landing lines are
Interesting.
So right there, that's where the people are. That little tiny thing.
That's it, right? Yeah,
Little
it's
tiny
even
thing.
smaller than I imagined.
It's
actually.
exactly.
I've
That's
forgotten
so
how
well
small that
said.
really is,
So
yeah.
well said.
I thought it was slightly larger.
I thought it was pretty big, but it's just like it seems like a lot
my
for so
God.
little, you know?
It does, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, that's something. Look at that thing.
These scenes were filmed by Pathé News cameraman William Deek, and you're about to see the pictures he got when the ship exploded. Those aboard leaping for life from a flaming inferno.
Oh,
the actual
no.
crash of the Hindenburg. An airship destroyed in less than half a minute.
Oh, so there's the image.
There it is. There it
There
is.
it is.
Oh, no. See how fast it just... That's horrifying.
Wow.
How fast, too. It just...
Well, there wasn't much to it, right? It's just a frame. I mean, it's big, it's large, but inside of it's all this
Basically, yeah, it's
hydrogen.
the frame filled with hydrogen. Yeah,
Yeah, and like this
really.
little part where there's people in it, so it's a big balloon, you know?
Yeah, and you know, not to take away from the tragedy, it is interesting to see the frame like that. Like you can kind of see the frame as the balloon part burned away. Sadly, it's just interesting to see how it, you know, how it was.
I was
it
thinking
once
about
was.
taking a
Well,
drive
it-
there, but you have to get a tour. You have to you can't just walk up to it. It's on a military base.
Oh, I
And
see.
they
Oh,
do-
okay.
They do have tours.
Interesting.
So I thought that was
Interesting.
funny.
Yeah. Oh,
Rushing to the
humanity.
rescue, the heroes of the tragedy dash in, heedless of danger to help the injured to safety, while others, beyond help, perish in the flames.
Oh wow. Must have been horrific to be on there.
Oh, it must have been horrible.
Because it doesn't seem like
earlier.
it did it blow up? Because it seems like it kind of blew up. I don't know.
Basically, I think the long and short of it is yes, it basically did. It just blew up. Hydrogen being the kind of element it is, I guess it just that was it. Once the spark went the wrong way, everything else went up in flames. It's that's terrible. Yeah.
The music.
And when yeah, right, yeah. And when he mentions too, people
what was-
leaping from the Hindenburg before they must have seen it happen. They were like, I'm out. How bad it has to be to jump. You know you're highly unlikely to make it, but you jump because it's so bad
You're desperate.
that I can't even imagine.
I don't believe this video has like that sound when that guy is like, oh, the humanity. There's like this cut of this where this guy does the
where he's
Oh.
seeing it happening
Once
and
a
he
mighty
shouts,
airship.
oh, the humanity, yeah. Wow. Once mighty airship.
There it is. Still is. It's really interesting looking back on it. This was a German Nazi party Zeppelin that was flying friendly. It was friendly flying to America over top of New Jersey. You know, it's just wild to think like how different the perception was of Nazi
it's
engineering.
interesting.
Hey, you got to give it to the
Interesting,
Nazis,
yeah.
man. They knew how to build tanks. They knew how to dress. Them guys knew how to do a lot of things. Say what you will. They were not.
Did you hear this is the idea that Hugo Boss, the fashion company,
Oh,
actually
yeah.
designed the
Yep.
uniforms?
Yep.
And it seems, I don't want to minimize the whole thing, but it seems silly. But it's like, oh wait, kind of gives you a moment of pause there, and I'm like, oh okay, that explains that.
I think it's the reason why
man.
the Nazis are
Alright.
still pushed to this day, because they're just like the best looking villains ever. They're like the best real villains ever. You watch like Star Wars, obviously. The
Oh yeah.
Stormtroopers.
They often have them as right.
You know.
There's a lot of models from which that
Yeah,
the Nazis form like a model for like a villainous
yeah.
force.
They still use them to this day. They're
yeah,
just they
stormtroopers,
look
for example,
They would
exactly.
look that good that it's just like that's the perfect bad guy right there.
It's so crazy though. Yeah, it's so crazy. And to think that Hindenburg, it's interesting too, because for its day, that was considered futuristic, cutting edge, amazing. And I think after this, I think it gave a lot of people pause.
Sure. And then, you know,
look at that.
This
Wow.
is this was in 1937. So
It's 37. Okay.
So World War II ended
Yeah.
in 45. So I don't even know
Yeah.
how that happened. Like the war, was it already happening? Something must have been popping off with England and Germany.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, no, technically, I don't think it really technically started till 1939. Obviously, Germany made a few moves before then, took some territory here and there at the time, united with Austria.
Do you know what year they took Poland?
Oh, that was September 1939. I believe
wow.
was the.
That was-
I might have the month wrong, but the year was 1939.
That was
Yeah, Germany and the Soviet Union went right into Poland and split it in half. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, I believe it was.
There it was.
Yeah, and crazy stuff. You know, they figured they'd split Poland in half, wipe that country off the map.
All those lands have been
just
contested
insane,
over endlessly. France, Germany,
It's true.
Austria, Germany,
It's true, yeah.
Poland, Switzerland. I mean, that's just like the recent
Poland,
wars.
yeah.
Go back. I mean,
Modern
there's
countries,
a war. What's it
Poland,
called?
Czech,
100-year war. I mean, that's crazy. There's a war for 100 years.
Oh yeah, the 100 Years' War.
100-year
right?
war.
You mentioned 100 years of like varied conflicts across Europe and beyond. The
Well,
30 Years' War.
It could be like in America when we actually forget we're at war, like in Afghanistan, and we forget here. We're like, oh yeah, we're at
You know,
war.
it's not to sound, you know, if you're in America or in a country that's somewhat separated from active conflict, it's easy to forget. Sort of, hey, lucky break, for lack of better words. I hate to make it sound so trivial, but it's like lucky break. You're not living in a conflict zone. You know,
Right. I think that's the deal
Congratulations, right?
with America is it isn't on our soil. If it was, that'd be
Yeah.
a much different story. Although when we were going the Emancipation, what was it, Manifest Destiny, we were going west and they were, you know, conquering. Everybody was duking it out in North America at that point. Mexico,
for sure.
and France, and Spain, and like that was a lot of fighting.
Oh yeah, there was a lot going on. In fact, the American Revolution, it was interesting. I read something in a history book recently about that. The American Revolution, in the context of all the other wars going on, like the 7 Years' War, French and Indian War, the American Revolutionary War, some of the conflicts Great Britain was having in South Asia at the time, India. So it's just interesting, like in the whole context, it's just like, yeah, like when in the U.S. we tend to study history, it tends to be very United States centric.
Yeah.
But we forget there's, and of course that was a very important event for a lot of reasons too, but it was happening in the context of a much wider series of conflicts that, you know, it was successful because America got aid from France at the time, who wanted to stick it to Great Britain at the time.
Sure.
And, hey, you know, and then of course all the ideas that America's founders claimed to stand for, imperfectly as they did, led us to fast forward almost 250 years till today, and here we are.
Here we are.
Lucky us.
Yeah, it's you know, we were talking about technology earlier, and I think they fly Zeppelins now. I think they figured that out.
I
see
think they're
football
still there.
games.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
football
they're still
games.
out there.
Sometimes they
Yep.
fly over that
Yeah, they
Goodyear
fly like
blimp.
the
and all.
Goodyear
So,
blimp.
Mr. Goodyear must have been like, hey, I'm going to make it happen. And it
He was
doesn't
inspired
seem
at some level.
it doesn't seem like it's a problem anymore. You know?
Yeah, I think perhaps they put more safety. But you know what I don't know about Zeppelins could probably fill the New York Public Library.
Well,
or
sure.
a
Could
full
fill a
Zeppelin
Zeppelin.
of hot air, right? So this might be a lot of hot air coming out of my mouth. So if anyone has any comments, feel free. But yeah, I think there's a lot more safety measures in place. Maybe not as much hydrogen being used.
I don't know. Maybe in
I could be
post
wrong,
I can
but, yeah.
put something up about how they go about it.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But all right, that was fun.
Sweet, man.
Hey, we did it. Yeah, we didn't have the one video where the guy's talking about the humanity of it all. I thought
humanity.
maybe I should do my homework a little more, but I think it was all in all pretty good video. So,
I liked it though. Well
Thanks.
done. Well done.
thanks for your time and opinions.
You bet. You too.
We like
Anytime.
to
Thanks for listening.
we like to go. All right,
We do.
I'm out.